I died from overwork and transmigrated into a ruthless male supporting character in a female-oriented romance novel about a domineering CEO. It happened to be the scene where the female lead, who had been concealing her identity as the daughter of a wealthy family, was completely disillusioned with the male supporting character and was preparing to take revenge after her blackening. What should I do? I don't want to end up bankrupt, in debt, with a tarnished reputation, blacklisted across all industries, and only able to work as a construction worker for the rest of my life. Smack! I had just woken up when I was slapped hard across the face. Dazed, I was completely bewildered. Before me, a fair-skinned, beautiful woman in a white dress glared at me, her eyes bloodshot. Xiao Jing-shun, I married you when you had nothing. I built your business from the ground up with you. I suffered with you. I gave you everything, and you dare to cheat on me with other women? Xiao Jing-shun? Was she talking to me? That name sounded familiar. Smack! As soon as the woman in the white dress finished speaking, another woman in a red dress slapped her with all her might, knocking her to the ground. Lu Xiaoxiao, who do you think you are? How dare you point your finger at Jingxin Gich? Watching these two women, both with incredible figures and stunning beauty, seemingly fighting over me, I covered my face, which was burning from the slap, feeling even more confused. At this moment, a middle-aged woman adorned with gold and silver jewelry approached me, concerned. Son, are you all right? I stared blankly at her. I should be fine. The middle-aged woman turned and glared angrily at the woman in the white dress on the ground. Lu Xiaoxiao, I've never been willing to hit my son, not even once, and you dare to hit him. You're asking for death. With that, the middle-aged woman raised her foot, ready to kick. I quickly grabbed this middle-aged woman, who seemed to be my cheap mother. Mom, let's talk things out. Don't hit people. The woman in a low-cut, tight-fitting red dress walked over and linked her arm with mine, pouting. Jingxin Gij, you're too kind. She hit you, and you're still protecting her. Sitting on the ground, Lu Xiaoxiao, dressed elegantly, clutched her stomach with one hand, her face pale, her voice weak. Jingxin, quick. Quick, save me. My stomach hurts so much. Bright red blood flowed from under her skirt, staining the white dress, making it particularly conspicuous. Memories that didn't belong to me flooded into my brain, and I instantly realized what was happening. I quickly pushed away the woman in the red dress beside me, frantically picked up Lu Xiaoxiao, and strode out. Xiao, hang in there. I'll take you to the hospital right away. Behind me, the woman in the red dress and the middle-aged woman stood frozen. Jingxin Gich. Just now, the man had seemed disgusted with Lu Xiaoxiao, allowing them to bully her without intervening. Why was he suddenly so worried? Could it be that he hasn't completely let go of their feelings? Hospital. I paced anxiously in front of the operating room door. I actually transmigrated into a book. That's right, I'm not from this world. In my previous life, I was just a reader. An ordinary office worker, 996, no social life, no partner. I didn't have any hobbies, and I spent my days relaxing and entertaining myself by reading books. Last night, I accidentally clicked on a female-oriented CEO romance novel. The plot was very cliché, but the more I read, the more hooked I got. I didn't expect that staying up all night to read would lead to my death. When I woke up, I found myself transmigrated into the book. I transmigrated into the ruthless male supporting character in this dog-blood novel, Xiao Jing-shun, a domineering CEO with just over 100 million in assets. His ending was tragic. After abandoning his original wife's identity as the daughter of a wealthy family gradually came to light. In the end, Xiao Jing-shun was bankrupt, in debt, blacklisted across all industries, unable to even work as a delivery driver, forced to work as a construction worker, and unable to pay off his debts in his lifetime. He was also told that the child the villainous Su Wanyu was carrying wasn't his, but someone else's. He was beaten and humiliated, utterly miserable. I finally get to live again, and I certainly don't want to live a life even more miserable than my previous one. The operating room door opened, and the doctor walked over. The adult is safe and sound, but the child. It doesn't matter, as long as you're all right, my dear. When Lu Xiaoxiao woke up, she saw me sitting by the bed, looking at her with deep affection, a gentle smile playing on my lips. Xiaoxiao, you're awake. Here, have some porridge. Let me feed you. I held a bowl of porridge in my hand, scooped a spoonful, blew on it, and brought it to her lips. Lu Xiaoxiao's gaze flickered with surprise and doubt, but in the next second her eyes turned desperate as she looked away, her pale lips asking, "How's the baby?" "I'm sorry. The baby is gone." I lowered my voice, delivering the devastating news. Lu Xiaoxiao closed her eyes tightly, pursed her lips, and her face contorted in pain. Large tears streamed from the corners of her eyes as she wept silently. I felt like she was falling apart. "I'm so sorry, Xiaoxiao. Give me a chance to make amends. I will never fail you again. I will never let anyone bully you." Lu Xiaoxiao, the female protagonist of this book, concealed her identity as the heiress of the world's richest family and married the heartless male supporting character, Xiao Jingchen. To protect the man's so-called dignity, she never revealed her identity as the richest family's daughter. Secretly, she relied on the Lu family's resources to constantly help Xiao Jingchen, allowing him to rise to wealth and status step by step. The richest family's daughter, hidden identity, marrying down, doing laundry and cooking. Only a melodramatic novel would write it like this. I was speechless. As a result, Xiao Jingchen in the book got carried away after achieving success, believing that everything he had was achieved through his own efforts. He began to dislike his non-working wife, resorting to cold violence and tacitly allowing his mother to oppress her in every way. He brought his ambiguous partner home, leading to his wife's miscarriage. The wife, therefore, turned to the dark side and embarked on a path of revenge. Lu Xiaoxiao pulled her fair hand away from mine, revealing a disgusted expression, turning her head away from me. Damn it. I was reborn at the exact moment the female lead lost her child and completely lost hope in the original owner. If only I had come sooner, everything would have been easier. Because this brainless romantic was truly in love with Xiao Jingchen and couldn't bear to leave him. The child happened to be the bottom line for every mother, and it was lost by a slap from the villainous female supporting character, Su Wanyue, for which the original owner, Xiao Jingchen, was also responsible. After all, the villainous female supporting character was brought home by him, Xiao Jingchen, to anger her. Heartbroken by the loss of her child, the female lead was gritting her teeth with anger, probably plotting revenge at this moment. Lu Xiaoxiao said in grief, "President Xiao, I'm not good enough for you. Let's get a divorce." I was about to speak, begging for forgiveness. Outside the door, a barrage of cursing could be heard. Honestly, making us search for so long. "Son, agree to it. Get a divorce." Lu Ziyun guessed that I would bring Lu Xiaoxiao to this hospital based on proximity. They searched the maternity ward room by room and finally found us. She grabbed Su Wanyue's hand and walked to the bedside aggressively, roaring, "Bitch! Always eating my son's food. Using my son's money, and not helping my son at all. You should have left him long ago." Then, the middle-aged old woman looked at Su Wanyue beside her with a delighted expression and a kind smile. "Miss Su is the perfect daughter-in-law in my eyes." Su Wanyue lowered her head shyly. "Annie, it's not even close to that yet. Xiao and I are just friends." Seeing how well Su Wanyue could act, I felt my stomach churning, disgusted to the core. Su Wanyue was just a young lady from a family one level richer than Xiao Jingchen's. Seeing that Xiao Jingchen was handsome and ambitious and was currently discussing several promising projects, she deliberately approached him, aiming to snatch the projects from him. In the original story, Xiao Jingchen thought he had found true love and dotingly gave the projects to her. Little did he know that Su Wanyue, in order to climb to the top, had affairs with several young masters in the social circle, relying on plundering men's resources to climb the ladder. If men don't open their eyes, they will be played by this kind of high-level bitch. 5. I stood up, hands in my pockets, and looked seriously at these two women who were constantly causing trouble, saying, "I will only ever love Lu Xiaoxiao. I won't divorce her, but if she insists on divorcing me." I paused, my tone becoming lower and more sorrowful. "I will agree, give her freedom, all the assets, she gets 70% and I get 30%. Even with a 70-30 split with Lu Xiaoxiao after the divorce, I would still get 30 million. This is more money than I could ever have earned in my entire previous life. Even if I quit my job and just lay around, spending it sparingly, it could last me a lifetime." As soon as I said this, the three women all looked at me with extremely shocked expressions. "Son, are you crazy? Why would you give her money you worked so hard to earn? Lu Tun strode over, grabbed my wrists, and shook them, then turned to glare at the woman in bed. 3 years without working, not earning a penny. What face do you have to ask for money? She should leave with nothing. Lu Xiaoxiao looked disdainful. Humph, your Xiao family's money. I don't want it. I'll leave with nothing. I pushed Lu Ziyun's hands away and said abruptly, it's because I allowed her not to work. If she wasn't at home taking care of me, cooking my meals 3 times a day, studying traditional Chinese medicine to keep me healthy, and doing all the housework, my body would have collapsed a long time ago. How could I have achieved what I have today? Mom, you don't know how good you have it. I pointed to Su Wanyue, who was dressed like a chicken. Do you think if I marry Su Wanyue, she will take care of you like Xiao Xiao? How could you even imagine this kind of delicate and pampered young lady would take care of you, instead of you serving her tea and water every day? Then I sat down by the bed and took Lu Xiaoxiao's hands in mine. Xiao Xiao, as long as you don't divorce me, I promise to treat you well. I'll hire a nanny to take care of you. You can do whatever you want. Don't be silly and work so hard for me like you used to. Lu Xiaoxiao looked at me with unfamiliar eyes, sizing me up, and seemed a little shaken. 6. What? Lu Tun opened her eyes wide in disbelief, looking at me with heartache. Since your father passed away, I raised you alone. Back then, I worked 3 jobs a day to send you to college. Now you want to break off relations with your own mother for a slut? I was almost speechless and said with a cold expression, Mom, if you have to understand it that way, I can't help it. Even a biological mother needs to have boundaries and not interfere in her son and daughter-in-law's relationship. Eat well, drink well, dress warmly, and go out shopping and dancing every day. Isn't that a wonderful life? Don't you know how to enjoy life? Lu Ziyun was so angry that she almost fainted. She took a step back in disbelief, pointed at my nose, and scolded. Who am I doing all this for? Isn't it all to help you rise higher and higher, become a superior person, and stand at the top of the world? Am I wrong? I retorted. What do you mean, for me? Did you ever ask for my opinion or feelings? You're doing it for yourself, right? You need to know when to be content. We've already gone from being penniless to having assets of over 100 million and living a wealthy life. That's already very good. I'm not asking for great riches, just a lifetime of peace. Don't you understand that principle? Why? I raised a thankless child. He's actually going to break off relations with his own mother for a country bumpkin. I might as well die. Lu Tun sat on the ground and cried loudly, threatening to kill herself. Passing doctors and nurses peered in curiously. My face turned livid as I stood up. A country bumpkin? Mom, weren't you a farmer before? Have you forgotten your roots? Su Wanyue came over and took my hand, gently trying to persuade me. Jingshin, you only have one mother. Can you really bear to break off relations with her? If I marry you, of course I will take good care of Annie. If I don't have time, I can hire a nanny. I pulled my hand away, warning, Miss Su, please have some self-respect. I'm a married man. You're making yourself look cheap. You. Su Wanyue was dumbfounded, her cheeks flushed, shame filling her heart, and confusion in her eyes. Before, Xiao Jingshin had silently accepted her flirtatious advances, eating and chatting with her. Now, how had he become a different person? 7. Su Wanyue pretended to be very sad, lowered her head, and said in a tearful voice, I'm sorry, Brother Jingshin, I was rude. You were indeed rude, not only cheap, but also manipulative. I said coldly, you dared to hit my wife in front of me, causing her to miscarry. Are you going to kneel down and slap yourself an apology? Or should I call the police right now and report you for intentional assault? Brother Jingshin, you? Su Wanyue took a step back in horror. Even Lu Ziyun, who was sitting on the ground crying, looked up at me in astonishment. I said with disgust, don't call me brother. I don't remember my mother giving birth to a green tea sister. Kneel down and apologize. I roared, and Su Wanyue trembled, stunned. A few seconds later, she became enraged and said, so you, Xiao Jingshin, I, the dignified eldest daughter of the Su family, humble myself to talk to you nicely, and you're actually protecting this country bumpkin. Slap. I didn't want to listen to her nonsense and slapped her across the face. Su Wanyue, I never hit women, and I hope this is the last time. Su Wanyue, who had been knocked to the ground, covered her face and looked up at me in disbelief. Xiao Jingshan, how dare you hit me? You wait. I'll make sure your Xiao family is ruined. After saying that, Su Wanyue glared at me fiercely, got up, and hurried away. I glanced at the middle-aged woman still sitting on the ground. Mom, why aren't you crying anymore? Keep crying. Get on the news. Let the whole world know that I, Xiao Jingshan, am ungrateful, causing the company's image to plummet, preventing any company from wanting to cooperate with us, leading to bankruptcy, and returning us to a life of poverty. Only that kind of life is peaceful. Lu Tian was so frightened that her face turned pale, and she was at a loss. Son, I sighed tiredly. It was a sin to be saddled with a mother like this. In the original story, Xiao Jingshan's downfall was inseparable from this mean and bitter mother. She had poor character, lacked any of the etiquette and manners of the wealthy, and looked down on people, relying on her son's wealth to be high and mighty. 8. At this moment, a man with clear glasses, wearing a black suit, tall and straight, with an elegant and dignified demeanor, walked in with swift steps. Behind him were a dozen black-suited bodyguards. Seeing the woman's miserable state on the hospital bed, the man turned and punched me in uncontrollable anger. You heartless bastard! You don't deserve to be her husband. After speaking, the man picked up Lu Xiaoxiao from the bed and left quickly. Hey, why are you hitting people? Lu Tian hurriedly helped me up. I had never been hit in my previous life, and this punch almost knocked me out. I stood up dizzily, my left cheek throbbing in pain, and the metallic taste of blood flowed down the corner of my mouth. But I couldn't worry about that now, so I quickly chased after him. Who are you? Where are you taking my wife? As a reader, I knew who this man was, Lu Xiaoxiao's older brother, Lu Yunzhou, the son of the richest man. But Xiao Jingshan had never met him and didn't know his identity, so I had to play the part. I seemed to see Lu Xiaoxiao looking at me with a puzzled and worried expression. 9. Lu Yunzhou carried Lu Xiaoxiao into the car. I acted perfectly, leaning against the car window, looking at Lu Xiaoxiao in fear and anxiety. Wife, who is he? Is it safe for you to go with him? Maybe my current appearance was a little funny. Lu Xiaoxiao lowered her head, and the corners of her mouth turned up slightly, looking like she wanted to laugh. I was extremely speechless. This kind of stupid, love-brained idiot was already amused. Can't you have some backbone? You just lost a child. Lu Xiaoxiao resumed her cold expression, looked ahead and not at me, and said word by word, safer than being with you. As soon as she finished speaking, the car engine started and shook, accelerating away. I still looked very worried, pretending to chase a few steps, until the car got farther and farther away from me before stopping. Lu Tian walked to my side and said, Bitch, no wonder she was in such a hurry to divorce you. Turns out she's already found a sugar daddy. I glanced at this annoying old woman. Are you sick? You don't even know who the man is, and you're already spreading rumors. Sanyu, what about me? Am I wrong? All you do all day is talk and act based on your imagination. You have no brains at all. After speaking, I went to the hospital to see my face, which had just been swollen. She's not my mom. I won't indulge her. The middle-aged old woman was both angry and sad, stomping her feet on the spot. Then she didn't say anything and obediently followed. After all, this was her son. After dinner in the evening, I kept calling Lu Xiaoxiao. She didn't answer, and her phone was off. So I sent text messages, all kinds of apologies, all kinds of begging for forgiveness. I was very anxious. I didn't want to be in debt and unemployed. Too tired to stay awake, I went to sleep. The next day I woke up, continued to call, and found that her phone was still off, so I continued to send text messages. Then I washed up and went to work. According to the following plot, the Lu family will hold an investment promotion gala tonight, where the bosses of major companies that received invitations will gather and socialize. Lu Xiaoxiao will appear as the first rich daughter, standing on the stage to announce the list of partners. In the original work, Xiao Jingshan's invitation was obtained by Su Wanyue for him. But last night I broke up with Su Wanyue. She hated me too much. It was impossible for her to send me an invitation. I might as well not attend the gala. Coaching the heroine is the most important thing. When the time comes, I'll squat at the door, and when I see Lu Xiaoxiao coming out, I'll kneel down and beg for forgiveness. Just then, my assistant Xiao Chan handed me an invitation to the gala, saying that the president of Lu Group asked his secretary to send it. The president of Lu Group is Lu Xiaoxiao's own brother, Lu Yunzhou. Why is he sending me an invitation? Judging by his appearance yesterday, when he wanted to beat me to death, he probably wasn't inviting me to have a nice cup of tea, right? Recalling the plot of the original work, I kept calling Lu Xiaoxiao. The phone was on, but she just wouldn't answer. After hesitating all afternoon, I decided to go to my doom. Let the storm come sooner. Otherwise, living in fear every day is not a good life. 11. At the entrance of the gala, as if the plot was already arranged, I met Su Wanyue, who was as usual dressed like a chicken, walking over in a flirtatious manner, clinging to a young man's arm. I don't know who was so unfortunate to become one of her playthings. When Su Wanyue saw me, she hooked her red lips and sneered. A gala that only bosses with over 10 billion in assets are qualified to attend is also somewhere any Tom, Dick, or Harry can come? I retorted. Which boss is so stupid to tell you how much his family's assets are? You what? You came here to attend the gala? Or to throw a tantrum? Like a shrew, be careful you scare away the boyfriend you finally hooked. Not wanting to lose her composure, Su Wanyue quickly suppressed her anger and restrained herself, and immediately hugged her boyfriend's arm softly, pouting her lips at her boyfriend aggrievedly. Look at him, he's bullying me. Before her boyfriend could speak, I said first. Hey, brother, we are here to attend the gala, not to fight. You wouldn't cause trouble under the Lu family's nose for a woman like this, would you? Besides, she started it first. Hearing this, the man turned to look at Su Wanyue and said coldly, Behave yourself. Su Wanyue was about to die of anger, pouting her lips and glaring at me. At this time, she caught a glimpse of a familiar woman walking over, was stunned, and widened her eyes to look over. When the familiar woman walked up to her, she looked the woman up and down with a sour and disdainful expression and sneered. Yo, isn't that President Zhao's live-in maid wife who does laundry and cooking all day? This kind of gala isn't something a maid can attend just by dressing up and pretending to be a phoenix. As I, after handing over my invitation, was about to enter, I heard Su Wanyue's mocking voice again. I turned my head and saw Lu Xiaoxiao arriving. She was wearing a white long gown. Her hair was styled up, and she wore a simple crystal hair accessory. With light makeup, delicate features, and radiant white skin, she possessed a noble and elegant aura, like a princess stepping out of a fairy tale. Not only was I stunned, but Su Wanyue's boyfriend, the doorman, and the guests preparing to enter were all dumbfounded. Lu Xiaoxiao was already beautiful to begin with. Even when she dressed plainly and did housework, she was still a fairy-like wife. What's more, after dressing up, all the celebrities paled in comparison to her. But Xiao Jingxin, whose eyes were only on money, benefits, and value after gaining wealth, felt that this divine wife was useless to his career and began to dislike her. What an ungrateful and deadbeat scumbag. 12. I quickly walked over to defend Lu Xiaoxiao. Su Wanyue, did you eat shit? Your mouth is so foul. Su Wanyue had a bit of a temper, and upon hearing this, her face flushed red with anger. Xiao Jingxin, you, I thought you were handsome. How can you be so uncouth? I sneered. Because people who speak nothing but shit don't deserve politeness. Isn't that right, handsome? She was the one who started with hurtful words and now wants to turn around and bite someone. Do you think we're fools? If you bring her in, aren't you afraid she'll offend someone with her words and ruin your reputation? I looked at Su Wanyue's boyfriend. Her boyfriend instantly looked disgusted. Su Wanyue, if you don't watch your words, I won't take you in. Su Wanyue panicked and quickly apologized in a coquettish manner. I'm sorry, President Gu. I know I was wrong. Then she secretly glared at me, looking like she was out for my blood. I smiled and walked over to Lu Xiaoxiao. Wife, you're here. Beside Lu Xiaoxiao, a young and handsome man about my age, gentlemanly pushed me aside and smiled politely. Excuse me, please don't get close to her. The male lead of this book, Fu Tingyan, ranked second on the global rich list, his family background comparable to Lu Xiaoxiao's, and also known as the Prince of the Beijing Circle. Good character, righteous values, and most importantly, deeply devoted. Lu Xiaoxiao is his white moonlight. Because Lu Xiaoxiao loves Xiao Jingxin, he endured the pain and didn't compete. Now that Lu Xiaoxiao is preparing to divorce, He doesn't mind and is taking care of her with every possible consideration. Su Wanyue couldn't control her mouth again. Yo, Mrs. Xiao, are you seducing another man right in front of President Xiao? I gave her a death glare, and she immediately shut up. Lu Xiaoxiao, who had been quietly observing me and remained silent, also looked at Su Wanyue with sharp eyes. Miss Su, this is my friend. Keep your mouth clean, otherwise you won't be able to get into the gala inside. My friend. I secretly looked at Fu Tingyan. A look of pain flashed in Fu Tingyan's eyes, but he didn't care and remained silent. Because Lu Xiaoxiao hasn't divorced yet, their relationship can only be maintained as friendship. 13. Su Wanyue sneered. Who do you think you are? Saying we can't get in? We have the Lu family's invitation. In female novels, the rich and influential heiresses of conglomerates are quite tolerant. Lu Xiaoxiao ignored her and walked to the entrance, handing her invitation to the security guard. Fu Tingyan also took out his own. Seeing the invitation, the security guard's eyes lit up. It's a supreme VIP invitation. Please, both of you, come in. The security guard bowed respectfully and gestured for them to enter. Lu Xiaoxiao and Fu Tingyan walked in with their heads held high. Supreme VIP? How is that possible? How could a maid receive a VIP invitation? She definitely got it by relying on that man next to her on the list. Su Wanyue said with a sour face. I laughed. Su Wanyue, did your brain get waterlogged when you were born? Accusing others of having what you don't have? How much do you know about her? How much do you know about her friends? Daring to yell at a VIP guest of the Lu family. Are you looking down on the Lu family? Alerted by my words, Su Wanyue's boyfriend also sobered up, pried Su Wanyue's hand away, and issued a final warning. I'm warning you, once you're inside, you better shut your mouth, or I'll kick you out. After saying that, the man handed over the invitation and walked in. Seeing Su Wanyue's face about to explode with anger, I cheerfully chuckled and strode inside. Xiao Jingshun, you just wait. Su Wanyue clenched her fist. Wait and see. I know Su Wanyue won't let it go easily, and I also know what her eventual ending will be. Just waiting for her to court death sooner and end up in jail sooner. 14. The banquet was luxuriously decorated, and bosses from all walks of life gathered. Delicious food and wine, making friends, and pleasant conversations filled the air. In a corner of the banquet, I walked to Lu Xiaoxiao, who was chatting and laughing with Fu Tingyan, and pleaded in a gentle tone. Xiaoxiao, can we talk properly? The two lovebirds, disturbed by me, glared at me unhappily. Lu Xiaoxiao smiled gently at Fu Tingyan. Tingyan Gij, please excuse me for a moment. Fu Tingyan nodded. Okay. Lu Xiaoxiao and I walked to the window. Lu Xiaoxiao crossed her arms, her face as cold as ice. Looking out the window, not at me. I said softly, Xiaoxiao, don't just give me the cold shoulder. Tell me what you want, you can hit me, you can scold me. Lu Xiaoxiao said indifferently. If I told you that I want you to leave with nothing in the divorce, would you agree? Agree. As long as you're willing to forgive me, I'll agree to anything. I agreed without hesitation. Hesitating for even a second would send me to hell. Heavens! If I can't have wealth and glory, can I go back to being an office worker? It's better than being blacklisted and notorious, and only being able to work as a bricklayer. Lu Xiaoxiao looked at me in shock, paused for a second, and then said, if I said I also wanted the last painting your sister painted before she died, would you give it to me? Painting? I quickly reviewed the original plot. Xiao Jingshun had an older sister who loved painting since she was a child. She grew up in an art class and met Lu Xiaoxiao, who also loved painting, in college, and they became good friends. The year she was about to graduate, her sister was suddenly diagnosed with stomach cancer and died not long after. Before she died, she painted a painting called Cancer Fighting Angel. Lu Xiaoxiao helped her paint it. Give it. This painting was painted by you and my sister together. It has a deeper meaning for you. I immediately agreed. Who exactly are you? Lu Xiaoxiao stared at me with burning eyes, as if she wanted to see right through me. She finally asked that question. Although I'm wearing Xiao Jingshun's skin, my personality is very different from Xiao Jingshun's. Xiao Jingshun himself is a cold and steady type with a strong sense of self-esteem and would never be humble and ingratiating. But I'm just a happy-go-lucky rascal the kind of person who can put down my pride. Lu Xiaoxiao deeply loved Xiao Jingshen. How could she not see that the person she loved had changed? I clenched my fist and coughed lightly near my mouth and said earnestly, "People change. Just like after I became successful in my career, I was blinded by money and interests and turned from the Xiao Jingshun who was once deeply in love with you into a bastard who disliked you, was indifferent and selfish, and ignored your dedication and feelings. But at the moment I lost the child, I was heartbroken and suddenly realized that all wealth and glory is completely insignificant compared to my lover and child. I really know I was wrong, Xiao Xiao. I hope you can forgive me, whether you want to start over or get divorced. I will respect your choice and will never become that cold and selfish Xiao Jingshun again." I gazed at the woman before me with deep affection and sincerity, my expression filled with sorrow, guilt, and self-reproach. Lu Xiaoxiao turned her head to look out the window, her eyes lowered, conflicted and pained. After a long pause, she finally spoke in a very weary tone. "I'll give you my answer tonight." "Okay," I replied softly. It seemed there was hope for forgiveness. 15. At that moment, Su Wanyue walked over. I knew this vicious female supporting character wouldn't stay quiet. "Xiao Xiaojia, I was wrong yesterday. I caused you to lose a child. Can I apologize to you? I will not forgive you," Lu Xiaoxiao said fiercely, looking at the enemy who killed her child. Su Wanyue produced a jade bracelet of excellent quality and said in a humble tone, "To apologize to you, I brought my family heirloom. Let me put it on for you." As she spoke, this seemingly harmless parasite walked over. I quickly put my arm around Lu Xiaoxiao's shoulder and pulled her back, warning, "Don't come any closer." This bracelet was no family heirloom, just worth a few thousand yuan. She wanted to get close to Lu Xiaoxiao, accidentally drop the bracelet, then sit on the ground and falsely accuse Lu Xiaoxiao of hitting her. And in the original story, Xiao Jingshen always protected Su Wanyue, believing everything she said and bullying Lu Xiaoxiao along with her. It wasn't until Lu Yinzhou appeared and announced that Lu Xiaoxiao was the daughter of a wealthy family that Xiao Jingshen's legs went weak and he almost fell. Su Wanyue said, appearing wronged, "I just wanted to give my sister the bracelet and ask for forgiveness. Is that not allowed?" When I was reading the book, I found the female supporting character's behavior disgusting. Now that I saw it with my own eyes, I felt like I was going to throw up. "Miss Su, that was a life. Are you saying forgiveness can be bought with a bracelet worth a few thousand yuan? I advise you to stay away from us, or you'll regret it." Seeing that humility didn't get her anywhere, Su Wanyue dropped the act and angrily threw the jade bracelet to the ground. Smash! Immediately after, she sat on the ground. The scene was instantly silent, and everyone turned to look. Su Wanyue sat on the ground, covering one side of her face, crying, "Xiaozong, although the bracelet I bought wasn't expensive, it was still a sincere gesture. I wanted to give it to Xiaofuren as a gift. You can't look down on me just because it's cheap." Under the questioning gazes of the crowd, I calmly looked around. This was an important gala, and the CEOs attending were all of high status. There must be security cameras here. Thank goodness there were. Otherwise, this novel would be too much of a cliché. Su Wanyue, did you hit your head on the door when you came in? Or are you so desperate that you'll do anything? There are so many security cameras here. Just because you say I hit you, does that mean I did? Do you think the CEOs here today are all idiots like you, who will believe whatever you say? Su Wanyue raised her head, covering her face. There were indeed many security cameras here. She immediately felt guilty, but the next moment her tone became firm. So what if there are security cameras? Do you think a low-class CEO like you has the right to view the footage? I was speechless at the lack of intelligence and stubbornness of this female supporting character. So shameless, so unreasonable. I took out my phone. I guess all you've done since you were little is eat, without developing any intelligence. Fine. Since you don't think I have the right to view the footage, I'll call the police and let them investigate. Okay. No. Su Wanyue quickly stood up. I fell on my own. 16. I didn't want to let her off the hook and ruin her reputation. But at this moment, Lu Xiaoxiao's brother, Lu Yunzhou, appeared. As the president of the Lu Corporation, everyone recognized him, and everyone's attention was drawn to him. Lu Xiaoxiao pushed away my hand on her shoulder, coldly left, and returned to Fu Tinjian's side. Lu Yunzhou stood on the stage and, after giving a speech thanking the guests, looked at Lu Xiaoxiao. Next, please welcome my sister to the stage to announce the list of partner companies. Amidst the applause, Lu Xiaoxiao slowly walked onto the stage. She was breathtakingly beautiful, radiating a dazzling light that captivated everyone. Su Wanyue couldn't believe it. What? Lu Xiaoxiao is actually the daughter of the richest man. How is that possible? Lu Yunzhou on the stage cast an icy and bone-piercing gaze. Miss Su, what do you mean? Do you think we don't look alike? Or, do you need us to go to the hospital for a paternity test to show you? Su Wanyue shivered, her gaze darting towards me. It's not that. How could the daughter of the richest man marry an insignificant boss and do his laundry and cooking? I was displeased. Su Wanyue, how much are you looking down on people? I'm insignificant. How significant are you? Su Wanyue couldn't speak, looking to the boyfriend who brought her in for refuge. The man quickly moved into the crowd, pretending not to know her. This guy is smart, knowing to cut his losses in time. Next, Lu Xiaoxiao announced the list of partner companies. Unsurprisingly, Xiao Jingshan's company was on the list. But I was alarmed. Lu Xiaoxiao was retaliating against Xiao Jingshan by deciding to cooperate with him, giving him a project that the government hadn't even approved for development, leading him to bankruptcy and legal trouble. Xiao Jingshan thought Lu Yunzhou was recognizing his talent by partnering with him. Even if he hurt his sister, it didn't matter. Making money was his top priority. Keep being arrogant, you petty person. Never mind, I just won't take on this project when the time comes. 17. After the list of partner companies was announced, Lu Yunzhou immediately made a phone call, glaring at Su Wanyue through gritted teeth, saying, "Within 3 minutes, I want the Su family bankrupt. The reason? Su Wanyue caused my sister to have a miscarriage. President Lu, I know I was wrong. I didn't know she was your sister." Su Wanyue begged for mercy on her knees. "Even if she wasn't my sister, can you just beat any woman to the point of miscarriage? What do you take human life for?" Su Wanyue kowtowed. "President Lu, I really know I was wrong. I didn't know she was pregnant at the time. I won't dare to do it again. Take her away." Su Wanyue was thrown out of the party in a disheveled state. The woman, with tears streaking her face and eyes wide with fury, cried out, "Lu Xiaoxiao, Xiao Jingshan, you've ruined me. I'll drag you down to hell with me." 18. In the evening, Lu Xiaoxiao came back to my place with me. We sat facing each other on the sofa. She handed me a divorce agreement. I opened it and saw that she wanted nothing, giving up everything, only asking for that painting. "Have you really forgiven me, Xiaoxiao?" I asked uncertainly, afraid that she would give me a devastating blow in the end. Lu Xiaoxiao lowered her head, her face pained. "Time can never erase the harm and pain you caused me, but for the sake of your sincere remorse, I'll forgive you once." "Okay." I nodded and signed the divorce agreement. After signing, Lu Xiaoxiao took Xiao Jingshan's sister's painting and left. Leaving the home she had given everything to, only to be left with a body full of injuries. "Son, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was the daughter of the richest man. If I had known, I wouldn't have dared to bully her even with 10 times the courage." Lu Ziyun, who had been hiding in the room observing, came out to apologize to me. She was now filled with regret, completely not expecting that the daughter-in-law she looked down on was the daughter of the richest man. I told her that Lu Xiaoxiao was the daughter of the richest man, and told her not to come out otherwise, according to the original story. When Lu Xiaoxiao came to the house to discuss the divorce, this evil mother-in-law would come out and scold her, even hitting her, not allowing Lu Xiaoxiao to take away her daughter's painting, and in the struggle, accidentally tearing the painting, leaving both sides unhappy. I sighed. Go watch more TV dramas about evil mother-in-laws. You'll naturally realize how wrong you were. She was used to being scolded by me, very angry, speechless because she couldn't win against me in arguments. 19. The next day, Lu Xiaoxiao and I completed the divorce certificate formalities and came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Our mood was indescribably sad. For me, transmigrating and becoming a married man, busily resolving emotional entanglements, and now finally settled. It was like experiencing a real marriage, and in the end, parting ways with a beautiful and kind wife, becoming a divorced man. Kinda messed up. For Lu Xiaoxiao, it was more of a relief. Even though I repented for Xiao Jingxin's actions, late affection is cheaper than grass, and a sober woman won't gamble a second time on a scumbag. Goodbye. I hope you can meet someone whose eyes are only on you. I put my left hand in my pocket, raised my right hand to scratch the back of my head, saying my final goodbye and comforting her. You're not Xiao Jingxin. It doesn't matter anymore. I lowered my hand, neither admitting nor denying it. My phone rang, and I answered it. Hearing the report from the other end, my tone was elated. That chicken finally caught in the net. Caught. Lu Xiaoxiao looked at me curiously. I knew Su Wanyue was definitely up to no good, so I've been having people follow her, and they photographed evidence of her hiring someone to kidnap you. She's already bought a ticket for a ship to go abroad. When the time comes, Fu Tingyin and I will use 10 billion to redeem you. Transfer, no cash. Once the money is in her hands, she'll leave on the ship and go abroad. You. Lu Xiaoxiao was stunned, her beautiful almond eyes staring straight into mine. Consider this my apology to you and the child. I said softly. Okay. Goodbye. Lu Xiaoxiao nodded and turned to leave. On the crowded street, she and I walked along the road back to back, merging into the crowd, disappearing from each other's world. 20. I sold the company and the house, bought a 3-bedroom, 1 living room, 1 kitchen apartment, and deposited nearly 100 million yuan in the bank. Then I found a 9-to-5 job that was very easygoing, living a quiet, leisurely life. Xiao Jingxin's mother also stopped craving the rich and glorious life of being a person of high status, and now goes out to dance in the square every day. She met a single old man with a pension, and the two are dating. I saw a video of Lu Xiaoxiao and Fu Tingyian's wedding while browsing videos. A talented man and a beautiful woman, a very well-matched couple. I also found my true love. Her name is Sheng Jiai. She's a cute and sweet girl. Very kind and a little naive. I stepped in to help her when she was falsely accused of bumping into an old lady. And to thank me, she added me on social media and invited me to dinner. One meeting led to another, and they became familiar. Sheng Jiai thought I was a good person and confessed her feelings to me. I confessed to her that I was a divorced man, and she didn't mind. Therefore, I had a particularly good impression of her and agreed to be with her. We're currently dating without any quarrels or troubles, and our relationship is very sweet. Her profession is jewelry designer, working in a particularly famous jewelry design company. One weekend at noon, we were eating together. The playful girl called out the exclusive name she had given me, Shun Shun, and said with a sweet smile, Shun Shun, I invited my big brother and sister-in-law. Let's have dinner together tonight. So soon? I'm meeting the parents? I nodded. Okay. After all, I think my conditions are good. I'm handsome, tall, and have 100 million yuan in savings. I haven't told Sheng Jiai about my savings. I'll surprise her when we get to the point of getting married. I also know that she's with me because of my character and doesn't care about my monthly salary of 3,000 yuan. 21. In the afternoon, we arrived at the restaurant as arranged. We arrived, but Sheng Jiai's big brother and sister-in-law hadn't arrived yet. I sat next to Sheng Jiai, looking at the menu, talking nonstop. What do they like to eat? Are there any foods they avoid? What are their hobbies? What should I talk about? All right. What do they do for work? Since I'm meeting her parents, I need to take this seriously. Don't be so nervous. My older brother and sister-in-law are really nice. I'm not nervous, just asking. Jiai, this is your boyfriend. A voice full of shock rang out. I turned my head and was immediately stunned. It was actually Lu Xiaoxiao and Fu Tingyin. The oblivious Sheng Jiai stood up, took her older brother's arm, and said with a bright smile, Big brother, sister-in-law, let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Xiao Jingxin. Shun Shun. This is my older brother, Fu Tingyin. And this is my sister-in-law, Lu Xiaoxiao. Wait, why do you have different surnames? I asked. My brother uses my father's surname. I use my mother's. Huh? Why do you guys look so pale? How could we not? Fu Tingyin, Lu Xiaoxiao, and I stared at each other. I originally thought that I would live a normal life again, completely separated from their world of the rich, and never see them again. I didn't expect the melodramatic nature of this trashy novel to continue. I'm actually dating the male lead's younger sister. She wasn't even a character in the original story.